We welcome you back to the NASCAR Irwin Tools Cup Series 2018 season as we are in the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina for the Dr. Pepper 600, an endurance race for the ages, a Southern Classic as we have 40 cars lined up on the grid, a full field ready to take on 16 laps around this mile-and-a-half track as this place is not forgiving. It is a rough, challenging mile-and-a-half. Much like Atlanta, we have seen a lot of rough and tough challenges, a lot of crashes, as the last two races here have been an absolute demolition derby for the NASCAR Irwin Tools Cup Series. A lot of drivers are not very happy with this place. They want it repaved. They want it removed from the schedule. But it's a timeless classic. Fans pay to see this. And you can see a sellout crowd of 80,000 people here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina, ready to see NASCAR stock cars fly by around the yellow painted walls for this absolute endurance fest. And this is the one time of year that we get to see that. So now it's time to look at your ones to watch. We have Kurt Busch. He is starting on the pole. He's gotten 3 top 10s this year, but he has yet to win a race. He's been steady consistent so far, but he's yet to get a win. Ryan Newman is starting third on the grid. He is 26th in points, 113 points off the leader. He needs to start gaining some points and maybe even a win. Today could be the day. Kyle Busch, 4 top 10s this year. You would think that's a great season to Kyle Busch. Oh no. 0 wins on the season. He needs to turn that around. We have Kyle Larson, Auto Club winner. He is starting mid-pack today. He is looking to cruise to the front. Don't expect him there for long in the 18th spot. And then we have Kevin Harvick. He failed inspection. He is starting 37th, way back in the pack. He needs to charge the field if he wants to have a shot to win this race. So now it's time for your Mountain Dew Baja Blast starting lineup. As we documented, Kurt Busch is on the pole and Erik Jones, last weekend's winner from Dover, looking to get his second career win. Ryan Newman and Joey Logano looking to become the first 2-time winner this year. Trevor Bayne, great starting spot for him in the 5th position, and Clint Boyer alongside. Denny Hamlin and Brad Keselowski, they are absolute best friends at this racetrack. Flashback to 2014. Ryan Blaney and Jamie McMurray, 2 drivers looking to build some steady consistency as they have not had a good start to the season. Kyle Busch and Chris Buescher, great starting spot for Chris. Martin Truex Jr., he won at Atlanta, looking to win again. Another mile-and-a-half track, this could be in his wheelhouse. And then we have Paul Menard and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. with a solid qualifying effort. Michael McDowell, he's had a really consistent season in 25th, looking to keep that up alongside Kyle Larson. Austin Dillon, as he is 18th in the cutoff, he is looking to improve that spot. And then we have Daniel Suarez, Ty Dillon, and Casey Kane, 2 lower budget teams still adjusting to the Chevrolet Camaro. Jimmy Johnson, rough start to the season after a disappointing 14th at Dover. He's looking to improve on that this weekend. AJ Allmendinger, he has 3 DNFs. He is 32nd in points. He needs to have a really solid race. Then we have David Reagan and Bubba Wallace, and then Alex Bowman and William Byron, Hendrick Motorsports teammates, having a very mediocre start to the season. And then we have Landon Castle, his first race since Daytona, and Matt DiBenedetto, and as he's 22nd in points, looking to build onto that, improve. Greg Goldie, not a bad start for BK Racing, and Brendan Gaughan. Reed Sorensen making his first start in the NASCAR Irwin Tools Cup Series this year, and DJ Kennington alongside. Kevin Harvick, we know he has a fast car, but he needs to get to the front, and Cole Witt. And then we have Carl Long and David Gilliland rounding out the field. Both got top 10s in their last starts at Daytona. So now it's time for your KFC honorary starter for the Dr. Pepper 600 in Charlotte, and it's Racing Fan Forever 9. And it's time to send these drivers on a 16-lap journey This is going to be a grueling 16 laps, an endurance race for the ages as the marathon is about to begin in North Carolina. Kyle Busch wasting no time. He started in the 11th position. He is now up to the 8th spot, knocking on Trevor Bayne, trying to take that spot away from him. Now Denny Hamlin gives Joey Logano a nudge, and he will take the 4th place away. Ryan Newman in 3rd, Kurt Busch in 2nd, Erik Jones took the lead off the restart, and here comes Kyle Busch again, and now Truex is going to make a move. Now Trevor Bayne 3 wide in the middle, gets nudged by Paul Menard. Up the track goes Buescher and Trevor Bayne, and now a bunch of drivers trying to make a move. Now lap 3 out of 16, they're starting to go single file as Ryan Newman gives the bump to Kurt Busch. New 2nd placeman, Rocket Man Ryan Newman. He is all over the back bumper of Erik Jones, trying to get that run, trying to win this quarterly bonus as this race, since it's an endurance race, every 4 laps we will award points as Ryan Newman trying to take the lead away from Erik Jones. Can he do it and turn around his season? Ryan Newman takes the lead, now entering turn 2. Erik Jones all over the back bumper, trying to get back around Ryan Newman. He looks low, he looks high, now gives him the bump. Newman sliding, trying to save it still, but he does not. He spins down the racetrack, and Erik Jones is going to win the quarterly bonus here in Charlotte, segment 1. And Ryan Newman's going to go to pit road. He is going to lose a ton of time, go a lap down, and that is not what Ryan Newman wanted to see. That's not what we were talking about in the pre-race show on how he needed to build some momentum. Denny Hamlin making a move on Kurt Busch for 2nd. And how about Jimmie Johnson? He is knocking on the door of a top 10. He is trying to turn around his season, 20th in points. He needs to get some stage points, and he needs to build some momentum and try to make this playoffs. And now Erik Jones has lapped Ryan Newman, but they made some contact. Ryan Newman not very happy, and he gets into him. Erik Jones into the wall. Ryan Newman was not very happy on how he was raced. He pushes Erik Jones into the wall. He is going to lose a ton of spots, back to the 15th place. And look at all this. Out of all of that, Kevin Harvick with a 3-wide move. He is the biggest mover, hands down, since the beginning, and he is gaining ground on the leaders. And how about a shout out to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. before this segment 2 ends? He started in the 16th. He's up to the 8th position. He finished top 10 at Atlanta, and he struggled this season, but he looks really strong today. Meanwhile, back up front, Kyle Busch trying to close in on Denny Hamlin. He has not even scored a stage point yet. He would love to get these 3 bonus points from Denny Hamlin, but he does not look like he has the run. But in coming out of turn 4, he will finish 2nd as Denny Hamlin is going to win segment 2. And that's going to be a great momentum booster for this 11 team. And Jimmie Johnson scores his first 2 stage points of the year, getting passed by Kevin Harvick. Meanwhile, we're going to check on some rookies. William Byron, Ryan Reed, and Bubba Wallace. They're doing great in this 600-mile race, keeping it out of trouble. But Kevin Harvick 3 wide and gives the nudge to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He is coming in a hurry, but Ryan Blaney in front of him is spinning through the grass. Ryan Blaney sliding, slamming on the brakes, and he is going to come out okay. He is very lucky he didn't tear up that splitter. Ryan Blaney with more second half woes this season. He scored a bunch of stage points, but this is probably going to be the end to his great run. He just slides, spinning, just spins down the racetrack. And he is very lucky he caught that Roval chicane that they're going to run in September. He is very fortunate. If he had caught that grass anymore, he likely would have had a wrecked race car and his day would end. So Ryan Blaney is now on pit road. The team's going to put 4 tires in fuel. Sadly, he will go a lap down due to the NITCS rule policy of making a pit stop during the race. But for Ryan Newman, that's good. He gets the Aaron's lucky dog, and he will join the field back on the lead lap as we have 2 laps until segment 3 ends. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, Martin Truex Jr. are your top 4. And how about Kevin Harvick today? He has been on the move, and let's look at his phenomenal progress through the field. He started in the 37th position, segment 1, 19th. Segment 2, he finishes 10th and gets 1 stage point. Right now, he scored in the 7th spot, and he could get some more. A great day for Kevin Harvick. Let's see if he can get even better. Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin are side by side, but Kurt Busch is going to try to push him, gives him a nudge, and Kyle Busch is going to take the lead, and we have trouble in the backstretch. Carl Long is stuck in the middle of the racetrack. Everybody looks like he's going to avoid him. I have not seen anything like that before. Carl Long has stopped here on the backstretch. Carl Long's team was one of the entries in this one-off race here in Charlotte. Pays out big money, and they're trying to stabilize as an organization. And what I'm hearing was his car just stopped going, so his day is done. As now we are going to restart with 4 laps to go in this Charlotte endurance race. Now let's look at Kyle Busch this season. It's been a very strong season for Kyle Busch. He's 5th in the point standings, but he's had so many chances to win go away. Remember Daytona, he was up front before he had a remarkable save. He did come back, but he wasn't anywhere near the front until the end. Kyle Busch then gets wrecked by Logano at Auto Club. And then we look at Dover last weekend. He gives Kevin Harvick the bump. You think he would win this race, but Ricky Stenhouse Jr. drives it in. He has to save it again. And Kyle Busch has had to watch as Daniel Suarez and Erik Jones have won. And you can see he doesn't even have any playoff points, but he's had top 5s and top 10s so far. Kyle Busch would love to finally win a brand new paint scheme, an America paint scheme. Let's see if he can get it done, as we are going to restart with 4 laps to go, and segment points are on the line in this 1-lap dash. Kyle Busch is going to get the push by Denny Hamlin. He's going to get the edge over Martin Truex Jr. He now clears him down the backstretch, but Denny Hamlin slides into second. Heading down the Charlotte backstretch, Harvick battling Ricky Stenhouse Jr. for 5th. He's going to try to sail it in on that outside, but Ricky Stenhouse Jr. fighting hard. But for Kyle Busch, he's finally going to get his first stage points of the year. He wins segment 3. That's 3 bonus points for Kyle Busch, as Ryan Reed and William Byron, they just cannot get away from each other. They are battling 3 wide with Trevor Bayne. Now Kevin Harvick making a move on Kurt Busch. Move Kevin Harvick up to the 4th spot, and now he sets his sights on Martin Truex Jr. for 3rd. 2 laps to go in this one, and now we're going to check on Chase Elliott. A very average run so far for Chase. He's in the 13th position. Now, this is not what we expected out of the 9 team to start the season. He's 11th in points right now, but he's going to need to improve on that. And we're going to fly by through the rest of the field. A lot of rough battles throughout the field. Ryan Newman, Ryan Blaney, they went a lap down earlier trying to make up spots here on the final lap. Kyle Busch in control of this race, but Kevin Harvick makes a move on Martin Truex Jr. for 3rd. This is like a PR day when you run a cross-country race or a marathon. He's gained 34 positions since the start of the race. This is something he will look back on in the future. But coming out of turn 4 and through the backstretch, haters, close your ears. Kyle Busch wins at Charlotte, the endurance race. Joe Gibbs Racing ends up winning all 3 segments, and it's capped off by Kyle Busch becoming the 3rd JGR driver heading to victory lane and the 6th this season. Let's watch as a rowdy restart by Kyle Busch. This is his strength in NASCAR. He pulls out, and there was no stopping Kyle Busch after that, as he goes through the Energizer restart zone and claims the victory in the NASCAR Irwin Tools Cup Series longest race. And now Kyle Busch is going to do his burnout for Joe Gibbs Racing, Toyota, and the entire M&M's team. Everything is great for Kyle Busch, as congrats to the number 18 of David Marmer for winning the Charlotte 600, the endurance race. Let's look at your results. Kyle Busch in 1st, Denny Hamlin in 2nd, Kevin Harvick with a PR day in 3rd. Then we have Martin Truex Jr., Kurt Busch with a solid top 5, keeping up the consistency this year. Then we have Keselowski, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. with a solid day. Then we have Clint Boyer, Joey Logano. Jimmy Johnson is the 1st Chevrolet in 10th. A struggling day for the Camaro, as it's been a very rough season so far. Chevrolet has scored 1 top 10 in the last 2 races, and that was Jimmy Johnson's 10th place finish today. Let's look at your second page. Larson in 11th. I thought he was going to fly through the field, but he kind of stalled out, and he finishes 11th. Almirola with a solid day. Then we have Chase Elliott. Erik Jones, last weekend's winner, gets 14th, but he did get 3 bonus points for the playoffs. Then we have Alex Bowman, Jamie McMurray, Paul Menard, Chris Buescher, Austin Dillon. How about Ryan Reed? He doesn't make very many of these starts, but Ryan Reed gets a top 20 as he finished last in the Daytona 500. He gets a nice, solid top 20 today. Then we have Michael McDowell, Ty Dillon, and Daniel Suarez is surprising to me. I thought he was going to have a great car today. He just could not find the speed to get towards the front. He finishes 23rd. Then Trevor Bayne, William Byron, Casey Kane, Ryan Blaney rallies to get 27th, but that's not going to help him much in the standings. Besides all those stage points he's earned this season, AJ Allmendinger, Ryan Newman in 29th. He almost won the stage, but he got nudged by Erik Jones, and David Ragan in 30th. Now rounding out the field, we have Bubba Wallace, disappointing 31st, Matt DiBenedetto, Landon Castle, Gray Goulding, Cole Witt, DJ Kennington, and then we have David Gillen and Brendan Gaughan, and then we have 2 DNFs today. Carl Long, his car broke down in the middle of the track, and then Reed Sorensen, that team did not even start the race. The car would not fire, much like Carl Long, so he gets awarded with the 40th place spot for making the field, even though he didn't participate in the race. Now let's look at your standings. Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin, they have 0 wins on the season, but they are 1-2 in the point standings in a tight battle to see who can win the regular season standings. And don't count out Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, and Kurt Busch. They are all in striking position. And then we have Martin Truex Jr. in 6th, Joey Logano, Erik Jones, they all have wins. And then Clint Boyer with a solid start to the season in 9th. And then 10th is Daniel Suarez, rounding out the top 10. And you can see Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, they are the first 2 Chevrolet drivers in the standings. And then we have Ryan Blaney, Paul Menard, Eric Almirola, and Alex Bowman as he's plus 10 over Austin Dillon for the final spot. We have Jimmy Johnson continuing his slow climb up the standings, as now he's only 12 points out. How about Ricky Stenhouse Jr.? He jumped from 28th to 19th. He is certainly now in the playoff cutoff conversation on points. And David Ragan still with a solid season in 20th. And so far in 2018, we have 6 races, 6 different winners. Daniel Suarez at Daytona, Martin Truex Jr. at Atlanta, Logano at ISM, Kyle Larson at Auto Club, Erik Jones at Dover, and today, Kyle Busch at the Charlotte Motor Speedway wins this endurance race. So race number 7, we have 5 more races until the playoff cutoff. That's going to be at the Pocono Raceway next weekend. And that's going to be surely a tricky race, as it's a triangle. It's a new configuration, a lot of braking points, a lot of downshifts. It's going to be a challenge for a lot of these drivers. But today, the man of the hour, Kyle Busch, and how about Toyota continuing their dominance this season? We've seen this in their early first 6 races. They've won 4 of them. It's going to take a lot for Ford and Chevrolet to gain that aero advantage on the track, to make the moves in order to win these races. And right now, Toyota, they've got some of the youngest drivers and the most talented drivers, and it's giving them an edge. And certainly today, Kyle Busch's performance, as well as his teammates Denny Hamlin and Erik Jones, winning the 2 segments, have contributed to an all-star season for Toyota so far. We'll see if it can keep up, but congrats to Kyle Busch once again for winning today in Charlotte.